Alright, so now the wing is temporarily on the stands, and my initial thought of it being the correct width is not correct. So it's about a finger width away from where the stands end up being, and this one's a little bit more than a finger, but if I move the stand over a bit, it should work. There we go, let's try that. Okay, that's about a finger. This one's about a finger as well. Okay, so what I'm thinking of doing is 3D printing a stand. This current one that came with the wing is made out of Ali and then painted black. But I reckon if I 3D print it, I'll be able to mesh it up to the holes and then get the right offset so that I can fit it in there nice and easy. And by 3D printing it too, I will be able to have some adjustability with the boot lid coming up. Yeah, so let's tackle this in this video. We're almost done, team. We're almost done. Wow. And yeah, it looks a bit too flat at the moment, so with that 3D printed, it would move up forward to give it a bit more down force. This is the last video of the big wing install. As you can see, I've done a little bit more since the last video, but I'll walk you through exactly what I've done. Okay, where we left off was we had the wing stands up. As you can see here, I have 3D printed some mounts. Gone through a couple iterations, but this one is the best. The reason for the iterations were trying to get the angle of attack that looked the best. You know, I haven't done the math for the flow and drag and downforce calculations. What else? Oh yes, the eye bolts. So these are stainless M6 eye bolts with some washers and nuts. Same with the bottom here. I did have the wing mounted without these retaining plastic strings, and yeah, they moved quite a bit. I also taped this end up so it didn't hit the ducktail, but I think with the proper tensioning product, it won't move anymore. I used this design and created a couple more. This one had a slot here for the bolts, but that ended up being too big, and I overestimated the amount of support that I needed here for the wing to hold in case it bent. So I made another one a little bit smaller, but still the angle of this one was completely flat. So with that white one on the wing at the moment, that one's got a bit of a forward tilt so that it looks like it's doing something. Keyword, looks. And the stainless steel wire that I have here. This is a 3mm wire that I will be replacing the plastic Asian string rope thing here. So I'm gonna have to measure this, cut it with those side cutters, I guess you can call it, and then tighten them down. The first thing I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna swap the side, the wing stand mounts onto the riser, on the bracket, because I guess this plane here, the white, the 3D printed, is pushing the wing inwards. Or is it? Yes, it's pushing the wing inwards, which makes it shake a little bit more. I've tested it out with both inside, with the 3D printed part on the outside and on the inside, and when it's on the inside, these wings fold out and cause it to shake less. So first thing is to remove these 4 bolts on each side, well, 2 on each side, and then flip them around, as well as measure the amount of string I have here, and then copy that onto the stainless steel wire. Just going to measure how long the current supports are, and we'll be able to cut it out of the stainless steel wire. One. I've left this eye bolt a little bit loose, so a little bit extended inside, and I'll show you why in a minute, and I'll do the same for all 4 eye bolts, and that will become very clear in just one moment. Okay, now that the mounts have been swapped around, it's time to do the stainless steel cable. I've got a heat shrink here and a lighter so that we can do the same thing when it came from the shop. The point of heat shrinking the end of it is so that when you cut it, it doesn't spray out and cut you, and yeah. And also it's to keep it nice and clean, so once you've joined them together, you can put another heat shrink on just to make it look a little bit cleaner. Now just get a little bit bigger heat shrink to go over 2 of the wires so that we can close it off at the end with like that. What I'm going to use to close it off is these little D clamps here. You put 2 wires in that top hole and then you secure it down with the nuts at the bottom. I'm going to use these vice grips to help me hold the start of the bend here so that I can get the clamp as close as I can to the eye bolt. Release the clamp. So this is what it looks like. Clamp like this. It's not super tightened down. The extra things here, so I'm gonna put that. Where did it go? Where did it go? Down here. Gonna put the bigger bigger shrink wrap on the end of the other side of the wire, and then heat shrink these 2 together. Maybe up here. Okay, so you notice how this is still a bit loose? I'm going to tighten down the eye bolts on either end, and hopefully that will give me enough tension to make this tight. And that's one done. And just with one, I'm trying to push it around. That's solid AF. After about an hour of tinkering, the cables are now on. What I had to change from the previous one is that I put a nut and washer on both sides. Before, I used to run this eye bolt all the way onto the plastic and all the way onto the aluminium wing stands. But since putting two nuts on either side, it's made the eye bolt nice and flat, which is, I think, a lot better in hindsight. So, a lot better. Like no play at all. I think that's good. This is what it looks like. I would like to take it out and the kids are playing. I would like to take this out and have some beauty shots of this, but unfortunately we've run into a couple problems with the TPS, the belts that you heard in the last the problem. I got to replace that, and there's an exhaust leak with my test pipe. So unfortunately, no cool photos of it outside in the pretty average New Zealand weather. So there she is, big wing gang.